Hello, we are going to do a few exercises this morning, a few yoga postures that will be helpful if you're noticing stiffness in the trunk or rigidity. That potentially could be helpful for just kind of improving your fluidity of movement. Might be best to accomplish this in the morning and just maybe allot 10 or 15 minutes to do a few of these poses. So just keeping in mind that if there's anything that causes you pain or discomfort, just kind of working towards finding that comfortable edge, but not moving into that pain or discomfort. Comfortable stretch is good, pain, discomfort, bad. So we'll go ahead and start today in either child's pose or puppy pose. So really just doing what works out best for you. If you're comfortable with child's pose, you're gonna walk your hands up towards the top edge of the mat. Take a nice deep breath in and then exhale, let your sit bones drop back towards your heels. And you can allow your forehead to come to the mat or turn it to the side. If you're ever in need of a little bit of extra lift or kind of bringing the ground up to you, if you have a yoga block, you certainly can use that. If you don't, you can take a rolled towel and just set that down. So child's pose, sit bones are gonna reach back towards the heel. And just start to deepen your breath. If this is not available to you, think about keeping your hips lifted and come into puppy pose. Let's take some nice, slow, deep breaths into the belly. So inhaling and exhaling. And each time you breathe out, think about maybe letting the sit bones drop back towards the heels a little bit so you're starting to feel some length into the side of the trunk. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Good. Do that a few more times at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling into the belly. It's kind of allowing your body to relax and soften into the pose. Even if you don't move or sink deeper into the pose, just imagine that lengthening happening across your trunk. If you like, if it's available to you, you can walk your hands up a little bit further. Just continuing to breathe here, forehead either to the side or resting on your mat comfortably. We'll take about 3 more breaths here, but you can really stay for as long as you feel comfortable. And then when you're ready, start to come up to a tabletop position. We're going to begin to cycle through cat and cow. So you'll come to hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then just drop the belly, look forward, cow. Exhale, press away, cat. Inhale, cow, look forward, tail up. Exhale, press away, cat. Just start to flow with your breath here. We'll stay for about a minute. So just cycling at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling, cat and cow. Just kind of doing what works out best for you today. If it feels good for you, you can press the tailbone under and start to shift the hips from side to side. So just again, further increasing the length across the side bodies. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, shift the hips side to side. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, and hip shift side to side. We'll take it one more cycle here, inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, and shift your hips from side to side. Good, then from this tabletop position, go ahead and take your right arm. If it's available to you, you're gonna sweep it up, and then as you exhale, slide it under the left. This might be another good place for your towel or your block to rest your head. So you're doing your best to get your shoulder blade and your cheek down to the mat or to a towel. You can press into this hand a little bit more to invite more rotation. You're keeping your hips lifted. Again, just kind of doing what works out best for you. We're gonna stay for about 3 breath cycles. Breathing into the spine as you twist. Nice and low breaths into the belly. And then when you feel ready, start to come up to a tabletop position. You can hold that longer if you want to. Just pause the video. Take a nice deep breath in, reach the left arm up this time. And then as you exhale, slide it under the right. Thread the needle, second side, hips are lifted, shoulder blade connected to the mat. Hips lifted, pressing gently into that right hand to find that rotation into the upper part of the spine. Breathing deeply here. Go ahead and start to make your way back up to a tabletop position. So next we're going to move into a side body stretch. So from here you're going to walk your hands towards me. So you'll walk your hands to the left side. So your fingertips are facing to the left off the mat. This might be enough of a stretch. You're creating that C shape through the side of your torso. If you need additional stretch, you're going to let your hips sink back away from your hands. Again, we'll hold for 3 to 5 breaths, whatever feels best for you. Continuing to breathe deeply. Relaxing through the head and neck. We'll go ahead and walk the hands back through the center. So taking your time to come out of it, pausing in tabletop, and then taking your hands off to the right side. Again, C shaping along that left side of the torso. Pausing here. We're letting the hips sink away from the hands. 3 to 5 breath cycles here into the low belly. Think about relaxing the face and jaw, releasing any tension or stiffness or pain that you're feeling. Start to slowly come out of it, walking your hands back over to tabletop. This time we're going to go ahead and take a seat in the middle part of your mat. So coming down to sitting, you can come to easy pose with your legs crossed. What we're going to do here is take that right leg, send it out at about 45 degrees, and then we're going to bring the left leg towards the inner thigh. So sitting nice and tall, lifting the heart, square your shoulders towards your foot. And then as you exhale, lead with your chest and just start to bend forward. So working on head to knee pose. That's the direction that you're moving, finding some hinge at that hip crease, breathing into the back of the leg. And you can either find stillness or you can begin to rotate the entire leg. So targeting both the outer hamstring and the inner hamstring as well as the center. So kind of do what works best for you. If you like a point and flex in the foot, you can do that as well. And then as you inhale, start to bring the trunk back up. Exhale, find that neutral spine again. And then this time we'll inhale, left arm reaches up. And then as you exhale, we're gonna reach towards that right foot. So big side stretch here all the way down to that side of the pelvis. 3 to 5 breaths here. Doing your best to continue to breathe as you hold. Relaxing the face. Again, avoiding pain or discomfort, but finding that comfortable edge of lengthening. Good. As you inhale, come all the way back up nice and slow. As you exhale, release the hand down. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. Actually, send the leg that's outstretched towards me. And then the one that's bent, if it's available to you, I want you to stamp it and cross it over your right leg. So sitting nice and tall, pull that knee towards your right shoulder. You can take your right arm and wrap it. And then we're going to start to take a twist back to the left. So as you twist back, you're opening the left side of the chest, sitting nice and tall. Breathing in, don't worry about how far you're twisting, starting to feel a little bit of length into the outer hip and glute. Continuing to breathe. Nice and tall. Each time you breathe in, think about creating length. As you exhale, release back to center. This time we'll uncross the legs, send the left leg out at about 45 degrees. Pull the right knee into the inner thigh. Square the shoulders towards the foot. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, hinge forward, head to knee pose variation. And just like you did on the first side, any movements into the leg that feel good are perfectly fine as well. And slowly bringing your trunk back up. Sit tall, big deep breath in, reach the right arm up and over towards the left foot. Breathing again into that side body. Relaxing the face and jaw. Good, big deep breath. Slowly come out of it. Important to just release nice and slow. Send that leg that's outstretched towards me. Take the leg that's bent, bring it up, knee to chest, and then stamp it over that left leg. Sitting tall, drawing the knee across towards the left shoulder, and then start to turn and twist to the right. So we're opening up that right side of the chest, pulling the knee across towards the left shoulder, staying nice and lengthened through the spine. Breathing deeply. And then as you exhale, start to slowly release. Our final pose will be seated bound angle pose. So you're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. You can draw them in towards your pelvis, or you can let them sit out or take a variation of the two. It's perfectly fine to just sit and pause here with a long spine, allowing the knees to kind of soften and let the hips open. Once you're in this posture for a few breaths, if you'd like to hinge forward to create additional length through your hips, you're welcome to do that. Certainly not obligated. One other thing that might feel good in this forward bend in the bound angle pose is just kind of inviting a little bit of a side stretch. So bringing your hands over to one side, should start to feel that all the way down into the pelvis. Holding for a few breaths and then coming back to the center and then over to the second side. And then when you're ready, start to slowly come out of it. Let's finish with just a seated heart opener. So take the legs out long, bring the hands back behind you, lifting the chin, pulling the shoulder blades together, opening the chest and shoulders, coming out of that rounded shoulder posture, breathing deeply into the heart center. I would stay here for about 5 breaths, whatever feels good for you. And then whenever you're ready, exhale to release. Hopefully you're feeling good now, ready to start the day. We'll see you soon.